Okay, well, where's my camera? Oops. There we go. Okay, so I'll wait just a minute here, just to see if anyone pops on here. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I saw this somewhat developing news story. I'm trying to fix my microphone here. And it's really exactly the kind of thing I've been warning people about how close we are because of the general incompetence, just the way the world is right now, to being basically on our own. Give me just 1 second here. I'll fix this microphone, which you cannot see. Told you I was just getting ready to go to bed. So this is all kind of. There we go. Come on. I don't know how that happened, but there we go. Just about ready. That's ridiculous. So anyway, um, I've had several videos, and it's really kind of ironic because. Let me back up. I've had several videos that warn about how like civilization is only skin deep. You know, just warning people about the chaos of what could happen if basically you had to fend for yourself. And then there was a comment today that I just loved, and I'm not complaining about it. She says, I'm assuming it's a she. I find you to be hyperbolic and sensationalist and performative, bordering on narcissistic. Narcissistic. Well, I think this would be in the category of hyperbolic and sensationalist, right? But I mean, let's think about it. The comment, I like the comment because she goes on to say, "I'm also extremely intelligent." so so how can you argue against that? But how can this not be hyperbolic? How can this not lend itself to um, man? How close are we always to just waking up in the Stone Age? So let me just go through this video. Excuse me, this website, and I'm gonna not gonna belabor it too much tonight. But so here's what happened. And I'm not really sure exactly when today, but we were tracking a high altitude Chinese surveillance balloon. Pentagon decided not to shoot it down due to risks of harm of people over the ground. This apparently was over Montana, which I'm not sure. Was it over Billings? I mean, there's not a lot out there. But anyway, people are complaining about it. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. That's not really the point. What's it say? The United States government has concluded that it's. Oh no! Wait. What did it say? It's in this article somewhere. Um, Something to the effect that they're pretty confident that it's just a balloon collecting surveillance information. Um, Says instances of this kind of balloon activity have been observed previously over the past. Here it is. Once the balloon was detected, the U.S. government acted immediately to protect against the collection of sensitive information. So there's a couple things there. One, yeah, all right. So this has happened before. You ever hear the phrase "a trial balloon"? I mean, this is kind of reminds me of that. Because I know how the Chinese operate. I've read several of their strategy books, about like unrestricted warfare, that kind of thing. But does anyone happen to know how to maximize The impact of an electromagnetic pulse weapon. Yeah, blow up a nuclear device at high altitudes. So I'm just curious to know, um, what is if we're just gonna let enemy nations, hostile nations, fly balloons over our airspace unmolested. What's to stop them from putting a nuclear device in one of them and blowing an EMP up? I mean, besides, of course, their own self interest, there would obviously be huge ramifications, blah, blah, blah. But, if you wanted a prelude for invading Taiwan and you wanted to make sure that America stayed out of it in the meantime, an EMP would be pretty pretty significant. Uh, as I've said, not probably on my videos here, but as I've said, China and Russia and North Korea and Iran, they're not going to do anything to our country at that scale unless they think they have reason to think that they can finish it. Um, but that's not good news for us. It just means it's a really high hurdle. For example, the Japanese, when they bombed Pearl Harbor, they really thought that was going to put us out of the war completely, right? And it didn't. And our adversaries have learned that lesson. 9/11 was actually had a very similar idea. Wasn't just a symbolic attack. They wanted to bring down our economy, right? The World Trade Center. They wanted to bring down our military capabilities, taking out the head uh, of our military by taking out the Pentagon and taking out Congress. I mean, they really wanted to lay us low, um, which probably also was sort of a lesson from what happened with Pearl Harbor. So these foreign entities are not going to attack us unless they think that their odds are better than even for coming out on top. But that just means that they're going to go big or they're going to go home. So, apparently China's been floating these balloons over our heads for a couple years now. And I don't suppose anyone's gone up to them, any of them, to check out what's actually in them. I mean, I guess I don't know. But it seems unlikely. So I don't know what you're going to do with this information. But what it tells me is that you have to prepare for anything, right? So they made a judgment call. And let's just assume that the Pentagon knows what they're doing. Okay, let's just assume that. Let's go with that. Um, but let's just assume that they're extremely competent people, highly competent, 100% competent even. But nonetheless, they're still people. They still make mistakes. So in their judgment, it's just a surveillance balloon. What if they're wrong? They're people. They can make mistakes. What if they're wrong? So we put too much of our faith and confidence in these people, and I'm not trying to belittle them. I'm not trying to talk down on them. I'm just saying they're fallible and they're humans. They make mistakes, and our adversaries are clever. So this kind of story is the kind of thing that I keep my eye out because it could be a prelude to something bigger. And if something bigger were to happen, it wouldn't be hyperbole; it would be reality. And some of us will be ready to cope with it and rebuild, assuming that we're not caught in the first blast or whatever. There's all sorts of catastrophic things that could happen. So I don't, there's blasts and floods and cyber attacks, blah blah blah. Some of us are ready, others are not. One of the reasons that I have this channel is to bring attention to the risks that we have that show that we really are on the knife's edge, and hope that people will listen and take steps to protect themselves, because ultimately we're all on our own. We're not all in this together. We're by ourselves. And if you're smart, I don't want to get into this too much. You will develop a local community and local resources. So if you are fortunate enough to stand after such an incident, whatever it might be, you might be able to prevail. 95% of America won't, and you don't want to be part of that group. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna go to bed now, and nobody watches this anyway. But I've said my piece. I feel that my only obligation to be right before God is to um, tell people what I believe is uh, is before us. And if no one watches it or no one responds to it, that's not my problem. And I apologize for the very crappy thumbnail, but I didn't want to spend time on it. I just wanted to go to bed. All right. If you did happen to watch this ever, thanks for watching.